finding the area of a trapezoid, we need to remember our formula. Area equals 1/2 of the sum of the bases, and we call that base 1 plus base 2 times the height. In this case, we have two bases, bottom base, so we have bottom base, and then of course this top one is also the base on a trapezoid, and we have a height of 11 meters. So we need to find the area. In this case, we have to plug in what we know. Well, we don't know the area, so we leave that. Area equals base half of base 1, which we will see as 16, plus base 2, which is 7.5, times the height of 11. In our order of operations, we must add first. So when we add, area equals half of 16 plus 7.5. Remember to line up those decimals. So we have 5, 13, which gives us 23.5. Half of 23.5 times 11. We can now simplify. Now that we have all multiplication, you can go in any order. So if you want to divide this by 2 first and then multiply it by 11, you can. Or you can multiply 23.5 times 11 and then divide the whole answer by 2. In this case, I'm just going to go from left to right. So we have 23.5 divided by 2. And making sure we show our work. 2 can go into 3 one time. Bring down the 5. Bring up the decimal. So that gives us 11 3/10 times 11. Again, we have one decimal. So 1 times 113 is 113. Hold our spot. And again, 113. And we have to move our decimal once. So our area equals 124 3/10 square meters. So this is how you find area. And in this problem, it is a more complicated problem. We have to remember our decimal rules as well as our division rules. In this problem, now we have to find the missing height, which in the previous tutorial we look at how to find a missing base, which is more complicated. But in this case, we're finding the missing height. So first step, we need to rewrite the formula. Area equals half of the sum of the bases, base 1 plus base 2, times the height. Then we need to plug in what we know. We know the area is 42 kilometers squared. We still maintain the 1/2. That doesn't change. Then we have our bases. We have base 1 is 3 plus base 2, which is 4, times the height, which we don't know, so we can put a variable of h for height. Start simplifying. 42 equals half of 3 plus 4 is 7 times the height, h. Then we simplify once more. Half of 7 is 3.5 or 3.5 times the height. In order to isolate this, now that we have a basic algebra problem, we need to isolate the h. So we divide both sides by 3.5. So we have 42 divided by 3.5. We remember our decimal rules. We don't want to divide by decimals, so we multiply both sides by 10. So we have 420 divided by 3.5. 3.5 can go into 42 one time. 1 times 35 is 35. We need to do some borrowing. And 35 can go into 70 2 times. So our missing height is 12 kilometers. And remember, it's not 12 kilometers squared because the area is square units. The height is just straight measurement. So I hope this helps you to find the height. In another tutorial, you can find the missing base.